back to HitPoint, an anime news show and a niche news show, a JRPG show, a show where Baku and I talk about anything and everything that catches our interest and or ire. We broadcast live every single Sunday, except for those that we don't, at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be previewing trailers, talking about rumors, talking about our most anticipated games and RPGs, specifically of the new year, 2024. We'll also be responding to super chats at the end of the show. Baku-san, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good, but chat's saying that you have an echo. Echo.
Oh my gosh.
Echo.
Do you hear the echo?
I don't hear the echo, but do I have any echo? So 2 questions. Does Derek have an echo? Do I have an echo? Yeah, weird.
There. I think that should fix it. All right. Let me... Okay, nope, I think that should fix it. Is it still going, guys?
Baku has no echo. Fixed. Okay.
Fixed. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, a show where Baku... Just kidding. That was me. A show where Baku and I will do all of those things, including talking into the void. As it so happens. Okay. Thank you for letting us know, chat. And thank you, Baku, for letting me know. Hey, how you been, man? It's been a couple of days.
Oh my god. Yeah. We've just been busy with like end of the year stuff.
Do you see what happens when I'm not around you, Baku? Look at this. Look at it doesn't stand up on its own anymore, man. What's going on with that?
You need a haircut, sir.
I'm thinking about growing it out.
Okay.
I'm thinking about, I don't know. Might happen. But anyways,
it's intentional.
Yeah. Well, it is not that I haven't made time to go get it cut. I'll say that. It is mostly just maybe I don't want to cut it after 10 years of the same hairstyle. Maybe I want that anime hair. Maybe
you do. I encourage it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I think that's kind of that's one thing. Man, since we last left off, also I put out a new video talking about Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh my god, that was so good.
After how long were you shaming me for having not played it? Do you recall? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Yeah. It's been a minute.
Yeah. So it's time. It's finally done, and just in time for some cool games that are coming around the corner. You know, I'm pretty excited about that.
A couple of cool games. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, but what have you been up to?
I finally finished my dreaded semester. Getting ready for that new semester coming in 2 weeks. So I have 2 weeks of time to completely redo all of my social media stuff, all the channels, trying to plan for 2024. A lot of crazy things coming. Rebranding my Twitch channel. That's gonna come in.
Are you telling anybody about what your rebrand entails yet, or is that still kind of somewhat under the radar?
I think you're the only person I've ran through the ideas. Actually, no, you and someone else.
Okay. Well, I'll tell everybody that you'll have to wait to find out from Baku what exactly is happening, but there's some pretty interesting stuff going on, and I think it's going to be good for everybody. So
I think so.
I'm pretty excited. So. I'm excited.
Yeah. Other than that, I was just telling Derek, speaking of anime hair, my younger nephew is absolutely refusing to let my sister cut his hair because he wants to grow out his hair to do anime hairdo. My mom, the grandma, is being driven to insanity because it can't even see his eyes anymore. It's just the bangs all the way down, and he's not really doing anything to style it. He just wants that long hair that he can just do stuff with it, but then he doesn't know how to make the anime hair happen. I wish I could just impart my weep knowledge to him that you certainly can do the weep hair. It's only going to take you 3 hours every day when you wake up, and God knows how many cans of hairspray is going to take to keep that cloud
just get them no just get them hair glue. There was so when I was in Seattle, I actually asked a dude about their hair because they did something pretty sick. It was a faux hawk, but it was like up to here, and it was like rigid. And it was like, that thing's going to survive a hurricane. And they have this thing. It's not Elmer's glue. I mean, some people back in the days of like the 80s, like punks would do that. But for real, there's this thing just now called hair glue that is essentially like just construction level of adhesive.
Yes.
And it's water soluble, most importantly. But your hair will survive whatever anime or god throws at your hair.
But he's under the impression, because he's seen it in anime, that people just wake up and that's just their hair.
I mean, if he does it with hair glue, let me tell you, you might just still wake up that way.
We're gonna have a different problem. He's not gonna wash his hair. We're gonna have a different problem there. Yeah, but it's fun little happenings around. But I've got lots of things to look forward to this year. So finally finishing school, gonna get my PhD in waifu study, hopefully.
Oh yeah. That's exciting. That's really exciting. I can't wait to call you Dr. Baku.
Dr. Baku, PhD waifu studies.
Exactly.
So I
exactly.
happen to be kind of an expert in waifus. I can't wait to like dive into like a waifu war situation and just appeal to them with my authority.
Oh yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Like, PhD in waifu study here. You're just wrong. I have studied this. Here's my dissertation.
I feel like the only difference is claiming to have a PhD in the subject. Otherwise, most waifu wars continue on the same. Just stating opinions as facts. So.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got some pretty cool stuff. We've got some comments from the previous podcast. You want to go ahead and jump into those? Or?
Sure. Before we do, though, I do want to just, for posterity's sake, if anybody's wondering where we were for the last couple of weeks, you probably, and anybody here probably understands that the week before last was literally Christmas, and then the following day was New Year's Day. So we're a little bit because of that, or it was New Year's Eve and then Christmas Day, something like that. Basically, family time exclusively. So that's why HitPoint was away for realsies. But we're back, and I think that we're going to be back to a regular schedule starting now. So we needed some time to not go insane. Exactly. So we did get some comments from last week. So this one came from user OD5th6ZD2F. Very creative name. They said, my question for Derek and Baku. Do you guys ever hum video game music while you're at work? I was humming music from Super Mario RPG the other day. Also, did you mention that the Elisa figure is up for pre-order from QuestQ? Have a glorious week.
Hey, thank you so much for that. I don't know
if it's still up for pre-order or not. Like, it's been a couple weeks, but
why don't you answer the question while I look through that?
Okay, sure. So
it's Elisa, so I didn't care. No offense.
I mean,
low tier waifu.
Dear.
I'm kidding. Oh boy, I'm getting a lot of heat for that.
That's okay. But for real, there's not a lot of like soundtracks. So there's one in particular that does continually pop into my head though, as I'm just like doing something. Like every time, sometimes you hear like yourself going like as you're like going through something, right? Like just like I'm going through a list of files, but then my JRPG loving brain, it goes and then all of a sudden, so it's so easy to get that one stuck in my head, the victory theme from Final Fantasy. And it still happens despite not having played a real Final Fantasy, excluding maybe 7 Remake, for like 10 years.
Right.
Yeah, it's just wild. So that is something that just always happens. But then other songs like definitely get stuck in my head. But as far as like things that I hum along to, some Earthbound tracks, just really simple melodies like Pollyanna, I think. Those are like the really easy ones to just hum along with, but that's about it. What about you, man?
I've hummed along the entirety of what was it? What was that? Dancing Mad.
Ooh,
It's like a 11-minute song. And I'm just like, do I remember how the song goes? Can I hump the entire thing? The answer is yes. Yes, I can.
That's pretty impressive. That's
I think
wildly
so.
impressive.
I think so. But yeah, if I do hum along to something or out of nowhere, not necessarily even at work, just like I could just be driving. Most likely I'm driving actually. It would be like relatively long tracks instead of like smaller like sound bites, I guess. So yeah, I like listening to these soundtracks in the car, so that could be the reason why. Like
Oh,
that's
man.
where it's triggered. So yeah,
Oh God,
so that's me.
oh God, yeah. Some songs from East really do stick in the head.
Mhm.
I still get a song from there's this beach song that happens when you're in East 8.
Hmm.
That da dum ba ba da. Okay, I'm not gonna hum the whole thing, but
I need
it
to
definitely
play.
gets.
I need to play East 8.
Oh, have you not played East 8? Everybody,
Uh,
you know what to do. Go on to Twitter and shame Baku. Just
I
kidding.
haven't. I'm not at 8 yet. I'm still at Salsetta. That's the next game.
Just working your way through chronologically. Then I see. A
No,
likely excuse.
well, no, not chronologically, but I'm playing through the how should I put it?
The
It's
in-game like chronology.
In game
Uh,
how should I put it? In game like technology. Because some games were released before, but they were like remade or remastered, and then
okay.
somehow it's like more advanced
Hmm.
than like a previous game.
So like kind of like order of release then?
Kind of, yes, kind of.
Closest to
Yeah.
that? Okay, I got you.
Closest to that, yeah. So
Interesting.
Salsetta's next, and that's like the PS4 remaster, I think. And then after that is East 8 and then East
Okay.
9, and then whenever East 10 decides to show up.
Okay.
So yes.
All right. Well,
So I did post a link for Elisa, still low tier waifu, but half at it, I guess. The game seems to really want you to get with Elisa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, why? When I have better choices, I just don't. I mean, Laura is a better choice. Emma's a better choice. Like literally any character that you can romance is a better choice.
Yeah. Olivier.
Literally any character
Olivier.
is a better choice.
Olivier, definitely.
Olivier
top tier waifu.
for Cold Steel?
Olivier. Yeah. I mean, do you know? Do you want to know?
I don't want to know. No.
Okay, fine.
Like Sarah's a better choice. I mean,
Sarah's
who
great.
doesn't want? I mean, if I play Persona 5, I'm totally into dating my teacher. Absolutely.
Yeah. The weird part about Cold Steel, you know what? I'm not going to talk about it because you haven't got to Cold Steel yet.
Yeah, I've seen too much.
Yeah,
I've known too much, and so. But you know what's funny is, I know more about Cold Steel than I do Zero.
Weird.
Which is
that's lucky though, because Zero is so good. You're gonna love it when you get there. That's a SuperDerek guarantee.
Guarantee.
Yeah, you could take that to the bank.
Yeah,
now
I think I get introduced to Trails because when people were playing Cold Steel. I think that's the reason why.
Yeah,
again,
fewer people have played the Crossbow games due to sheer number of hours available to people.
Right.
Like it hasn't been out that long officially.
Right.
So
that's a good reason. Yeah.
Moving into the next question that we got though, or it's not really a question, it's more of a comment because when we watched the trailer last time for Dragon Ball Z
Budokai,
when
something or another.
Sparkling.
Yeah,
sparking. So I had mentioned that the voice of Frieza sounded extremely good, and Vantis Sentiment 13 mentioned that Daman Mills is actually the voice of Frieza this time. He was the understudy of the actor who passed away, Chris Ayers. So
Ooh.
yeah, so I appreciate the clarification on that, because I was speculating and I was way off. They were really good though. Um,
Yeah.
so I had one more thing to mention, and that is that we did not get a voicemail this week, or the week before,
What?
or the week before. But
There's 3 weeks and you didn't
Mhm.
send us a voicemail?
I know.
Shame.
Well, it's all right. They were spending time with their families too. So,
Mhm.
but I will mention that if anybody would like to send us a question via voicemail to be played on the air, you may do so at 785-337-3805, or you could also send us a file, a voice file, to HitPoint at SuperDerekRPGs.com.
What they should have done is send us a voicemail with their family, and then all the little kids can ask their little kids JRPG question. And if they don't know about JRPG, well, you're doing something wrong. You got to start them early
Yeah.
by watching this show.
It kind of reminds me of back in the day, my school would encourage people to submit their poetry and their art to a local magazine that was published by the school, and their big angle was you could call yourself a published author.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like I don't think that quite counts, but I will say that if you want to tell your kids that they are officially internet famous, they could call in and leave a voicemail.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
so easy.
More
So easy.
internet fame than most 4, 5, 6-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay. All right. So we have some new games that we get to talk about now, right?
Yes, we got a couple of announcements. Not a whole lot. Definitely not to the volume of our usual show. But hey, it's been the New Year vacation over in Asia, basically, and especially in Japan. And because we do a lot of JRPG things, yeah, they're not working. They're taking a whole week, 2 weeks break right now.
Oh,
But
lucky ducks.
do have some stuff. Yeah. We've got a Bushido Road. You might have heard of them, big publisher. Just gave us a release date and a trailer to a previously announced game called Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, Quest of Memories. A mouthful. This is a dungeon RPG that is based on a TV anime with added original scenarios. Let's take a look.
Alrighty, let's take a look at that.
It's just, this is the English trailer, but the English stuff is like on top and it's cropped.
Oh, geez. Oh, I see.
Well, too bad.
Sorry, folks.
You see a little bit English there, yeah.
I mean,
Just a little bit.
I saw that
fine.
there. I saw a gal from from what was the movie? Total Recall make an appearance. That was pretty cool.
Oh,
yeah, you can see a little bit of the English up top there.
yeah,
Anyways,
a little bit. Yeah, but
So,
if you're interested in
kind of
seeing
a
what they
Dragon
say,
Quest style looking interface there. First person perspective.
yep.
It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I don't mind it.
This is kind of like a SMT or what's that other game called?
Oh, it's still going.
Dang
I thought
it.
it was closing up.
Oh no, it's just showing like different scenes
Yeah, okay.
from like the story, yada yada. Yeah, it's mostly done. You see what this game's about. Oh, what is it called? Dang it. There's SMT. It's like a really famous like dungeon crawler.
Oh, a dungeon crawler, kind of like
Yeah. Ooh,
I know what you're.
something Odyssey.
Yeah, Etrian Odyssey.
There you go. Oh yeah. So it's like that kind of affair.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Well, I will say, everybody, I don't know why so much of this is getting cut off in the trailer today. I'll have to fix that later because it's such a pain to mess with that. But something must have changed behind the scenes.
Yeah, it happens. You got your echo. Something happened. You did something to the
You know-
OBS.
Yeah, I probably did. It's my fault.
It's always your fault.
Yep. Okay. Well, speaking of
Yeah, so this game is coming out summer of this year, which pretty interesting. And it's gonna be for PS4, PS5, Switch, PC via Steam. Uh, so Bushido Row also got the other game, uh the Goblin Slayer game that's also coming out soon. So they're releasing a bunch of games. I'm really looking forward to Bushido Road publishing more games to the West, and hopefully make good tie-in games. Because we
It
always
doesn't
talk about
look
like
bad.
tie-in games.
It
Yeah, it
doesn't.
doesn't look bad.
Yeah, as far as like anime tie-in games go,
Mhm.
I mean, it's kind of. I'm
It's
curious.
it's a bit low effort to me,
Mhm.
but I'm always willing to give tie-in games a chance. I just feel like they haven't hit the stride after
Mhm.
all these time, but I feel like when they can get it right, it can be really good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have another game that got announced. Just it's called Crystal Story: Dawn of Dusk, and it's
Mhm,
from developer Bread Frown.
mhm.
Not Fred Brown, but Bread Frown. Is bringing us a retro style action RPG. The game follows Mina, a young adventurer from Dawn's side who must travel to a strange world called Dusk side in order to save his brother
Oh, her
from.
brother. I'm sorry.
Yep. Okay. It is. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. Save their brother from being kidnapped by the great demon Termina. And we have a trailer for that as well.
Terrible, terrible, terrible writing. Who wrote this?
Bro,
Who
look at
wrote this
that. Look
docket?
at that. That is
Look at
some
that.
classic looking mode
Some Final
7.
Fantasy looking. Mm. Look at that. Oh,
Oh. Oh.
Chrono Trigger
A little,
inspiration.
maybe a little bit. With
Mage's Tower, maybe.
oh, look at that. That looked a little Earthboundy. That looks a little Zelda-y. That background's definitely like Earthboundy. Ooh.
It's a gorgeous looking game.
Yes.
A gorgeous looking game.
Look at those backgrounds, though. Like those seriously look like they came straight out of maybe Mother 3 or something. Kind of looks like a Game Boy game from time to time in certain scenarios. I wonder if this is.
A mesh of different things.
Yeah, there's so much going on here. Ooh.
Yeah, that background.
Oh my gosh.
Awaken to the call of destiny.
And this comes out.
1/12/2024.
This comes out on 1/12/2024.
Yeah, that's in a couple of days.
Really?
Yeah, this came out nowhere for me. In fact, I didn't even know that this was a thing until I took a look at all the news coming out again, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I didn't know that this is a thing at all. So I just like shoved it in to the docket, like almost last minute.
Yeah.
Thanks for entertaining that, Derek. But I saw that and I was just like, wow, like we have to talk about this because this game looks fantastic.
You know me
It is,
well.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is an indie developer. We got love for indie.
Yes, we
So
do.
yeah, and what,
And
6 days, 5 days, 5 days,
gosh. Okay. So
5 days.
it's coming out on the 12th for PC via Steam
Mhm.
and itch.io. So,
Yeah,
oh man, that looks.
that is
I'm
so
gonna write that
indie.
down. I want
When
to
you're
take a
so
look at that.
indie that you released your game on itch.io,
I know.
That's an extra
Mhm.
extra level of indiness to you. Props.
Yeah. So again, it's called Crystal Story: Dawn of Dusk. And
Right.
I'm gonna reach out to Bread Frown and see if maybe I can get a review code or something. Cause that
Do it.
Yeah, because that looks like that
Do it.
needs some coverage. Because holy cow, man.
That game looks great.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that is that. I think you've got one more.
Yes. Now we've got another action RPG. This time is from a lesser known studio named Seven Quark. They're a Taiwanese studio, but they've actually been around since like I think 2013. So it's not like they're new.
Mm-hmm.
But their new game is called Yasha Legends of the Demon Blade. It is based on a fantasy Edo period where humans and demons live in harmony, let's say, a delicate equilibrium. But that equilibrium is broken when the nine-tailed fox rallied the demon kinds to wage war against the humans. So let's take a look at that trailer.
Alrighty, let's check it out.
I think this game looks gorgeous. Another beautiful looking game.
Oh. That's some very pretty animation so far.
Right?
Wow. Okay. Just from the brief amount of gameplay so far that I've seen, kind of reminds me a little bit of Bastion,
A little bit, yeah.
which is really good. It's a really old indie. It was hard to make out much of the gameplay though. It looked really flashy and maybe teleporty, which teleporty mechanics are never really my favorite just because they're so disorienting to me. But that looks really pretty. That looks really good. Some beautiful artwork for sure.
So that's coming out in October this year on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. So basically every modern console. I mean, it's coming out on Switch, so it's got to be, not that power demanding, right?
Sure.
Switch 2024. I can't take Switch seriously in 2024. You had a great run, man.
The Switch is really good. Yes. In the discussion of like handheld portable emulators, it's top tier,
Yes,
but it's it's
a home console.
It has a shrinking niche. It has a shrinking niche.
I still play my Switch just for reference.
Absolutely.
I enjoy it very much. But I giggle when I call it a modern console.
Yeah. That's really
it's getting harder to say by the day.
Yeah. Well, so that again was Yasha, Legends of the Demon Blade.
Yes. And that's all the games we've got because there aren't much.
Yeah.
But hey, that's 3 that we found. And so hey.
Yeah. And we don't really have a whole lot of games coming out either. So
no game coming out next week other than Dawn of Dusk, which we just talked about. So
believe it or not, guys, I mean, I know we've only been at this for a half hour, but it's time for us to talk about some industry news.
Already.
I know, already. But that's okay, because we have a discussion topic after this that's probably going to take a couple of hours, depending on how thorough we feel like being about it.
Yeah.
So I'll start off with the only real story that we have here in the industry that some people will be very interested in and some people won't. So Square Enix has formally launched a new project that they've announced it for a while. We've known about it for a while. It's their Project Symbiogenesis, the NFT thing. I think that's the official title, the NFT thing.
The NFT thing, yeah.
Yeah. So just when we thought that it was going to fizzle out, they're like, not so fast, because they just launched it. They done it. I mean, it's now available on PC, Android, and iOS if you're interested in giving it a shot. Just know that it requires a MetaMask NFT wallet to participate. The company's trying to diversify earnings sources, according to Square Enix's president Takashi Kiryu. Not Kiryu, Kiryu.
It is Kiryu.
It is
you got it right.
Oh, okay, okay. In 2024 news, in their New Year's letter.
Yeah.
And Also, speaking of that letter, Kiryu also said that Square Enix intends to be aggressive in applying AI and other cutting edge technologies to both our content development and our publishing functions. Does that mean that they're going to be doing some machine learning based localizations? I hope not. Kiryu continued, in the short term, our goal will be to enhance our development productivity and achieve greater sophistication in our marketing efforts. In the longer term, we hope to leverage those technologies to create new forms of content for consumers, as we believe that technological improvements represent business opportunities. So, I guess...
Can't say he's wrong. I mean, yeah,
Sure.
technological innovations
Yeah,
are
sure.
business opportunities.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think there's...
So can I just start with this?
Yeah, go for it.
I think this whole NFT project thing, like the biggest thing for me to note, honestly, is how unceremonious it's been. It's like, yeah, it's released. It's a thing. It's I mean, compared to literally any other thing that Square Enix has pushed off, anyways. Even the least, marketed items got more coverage and, pushes from Square Enix for people to adapt and, try to understand. I honestly don't think that they have a lot of faith in this. And their actions is speaking much louder than whatever, PR thing they can push out.
Yeah.
So I genuinely don't think that they are trying very hard in that area. Most probably that it is a from my personal analysis, I think this is just the leftovers from the previous president,
Yeah.
who was pretty much
NFT?
ousted,
Yeah.
who was very NFT crazy.
Yeah.
Company has already spent resources on it.
Sunk costs. You got to try to
yeah,
recoup whatever you can. Follow through.
right.
Just
So,
I mean,
but not try to put too much other resources in, while also not trying to embarrass the previous president. So
Yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, NFT, totally a thing. We're going to, yeah, and here you go. We released it. What do you mean? Respect is huge in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know it seems a little weird to us out in the West, but understand it from their perspective that there's your previous president that they're trying to not humiliate.
Yeah.
But their action again speaks louder than words, which is they have ousted that president and they have basically done very little to publicize, this game. No, preview and all kinds of marketing effort prior to launch. It just kind of came out and it's just a thing that exists. So again, personally, I don't think they are too invested in NFT. I think that ship is long dead and gone. They may take some, no, not Bitcoin, but like some NFT technology may still be useful, but it wouldn't be like an NFT based like game, if that makes sense. Like they need to dance around that. Now AI, on the other hand, I think they're serious about AI.
It could be. And honestly, you're talking about the NFT thing. I don't care much at all, and my brain has been gravitating toward this use of AI this entire conversation. Baku's over here, I'm sorry, you're talking about NFTs and I'm just like, AI, oh man. So here's the thing, they're probably serious about it, and this seems like such a double-edged sword to me.
Yeah.
And I've dabbled with ChatGPT and the 4.0 version of it, which is generally right now, as I see it, maybe not the bleeding edge of that kind of technology, but it's the most readily accessible to most people, and it's generally pretty impressive for certain things. But I find that, like, as far as characters go, I mean, it's great for translation. in at least small bursts, right? Like it could probably do a pretty fine job of translating a PDF document or something. But to try to have it do a large scale project, I think it could be a really good tool for localizers to use as one of many tools in their pocket. I just really hope that they're not so naive as to think that they can just replace like translation, like actual professional translators. So there's that that's going on in the back of my mind. But then people in the chat I also saw saying something about like it, AI based NPCs, and I'm just thinking that like that sounds terrible. Just because having worked with ChatGPT, and I know it's not the only large language model out there, and that it is currently the worst that it will ever be, but even so, I just am highly skeptical, at least for the time being, that they will be able to write and let's be real, the games that I'm thinking of right now are like Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel, and those NPCs, and how multidimensional that they are. Like their individual arcs like change over time, and they're well thought out. There's twists and turns that they can have written for them by a writer. And I think that AI can be a really good writer's assistant as a tool, but not as a replacement. So I'm concerned about the idea of like trying to make all of the NPCs be controlled by a large language model that doesn't that doesn't all just somehow sound exactly like the same NPC, and yeah, and it sounds so wildly more difficult than to just have writers do a good job of being writers, but we'll see what happens in the long run. But right now I remain skeptical about that,
Yeah, I mean AI, there's so many things that they can do. Like AI is not, obviously the language model is one thing, but AI at its core is just it's just machine learning. That's all it is. It's machine learning. Like I don't want to make it sound like it's some kind of voodoo, right? Like it's just machine learning. It's just repeated trials with human assistance to get it so that it learns certain behavior, so that when it sees a thing, it will apply what it's learned, and then give you an output that basically has survived the many iterations of learning, right? It's like an evolution. Every time it makes a mistake, it that seed disappears, and then anything that survives then passed on their offspring models, if you will, and then continue on until you find one that like does exactly what you want it to do. So that means that AI is particularly good for things that are repetitive, right?
Oh yeah. AI is
So
the way I describe it to my friends is like, if you want to use or leverage AI, don't think of it as like one really smart person doing something for you. Instead, think of it as like an army of like kind of stupid to like okay people doing things for you. Like
at least in present state.
currently,
not speaking of the future. So I mean, I use AI to help me do my work all the time. I tell it to write me an email, and then I tweak it, because quite honestly, sometimes there are certain kinds of emails that I don't write often, that I don't even know how to begin, and my day's already busy enough. Like I don't have time to sit there to think about it. Like someone's retiring. That doesn't happen all the time, but I'm like, but I have to write something. So I'm like, okay, can you just give me like a quick draft, and then I'll take that. I'll see a couple of things that I want, and then I'll write my own. But it gets me started, right?
It's really useful for helping me navigate really uncomfortable situations in written form. Like I don't even know how to start tackling this. Give me a starting point, and it's just like, here's something that will convey what you've asked, and that's super handy. Just because sometimes starting is the hard part, right?
So I'm not too scared of AI.
Oh no, I'm not scared of it. I think I'm worried about it sucking. Um,
Oh yeah, well, no, it's absolutely going to suck.
mhm.
Like a company will find a way to make it suck, and it's like the pendulum,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
They'll swing back and forth, and then they'll overswing, and then they'll swing backward and swing backward again, right?
Hmm.
Until they find like the sweet spot
Yeah.
where AI should exist, and then even then it will still swing and miss a little bit every
Yeah.
now and then. But
The
I think they're gonna slowly get it right.
the difficulty that I foresee on the immediate horizon. So I mentioned that it'd be best used right now as a tool for creatives as opposed to a replacement for them. And one of the main, not even the main, but just a huge, like very practical reason for that is the scalability of
Mhm.
that. Because you would, in order to host a game that has, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of concurrent players potentially, like
Mhm.
you would have to basically invest billions the way that
Mhm.
the way that
Yeah.
OpenAI has into
Mhm.
the infrastructure to have a farm of GPUs crunching the kinds of numbers that you would probably need, and the context is the context variables that you would need for this would be absolutely massive to make a consistent world. My
Yeah, I
God.
don't even think maybe that's where we're like a little different. Like I'm not even there. Like I can definitely see them try to do some stuff like that. But
Hmm.
it's like how he said, like, oh yeah, well, there's a short-term goal and then there's like a long-term goal. Like I'm thinking
Yeah.
about like their short term,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
how that grows. So short term, maybe just helping the translator with like being
Yeah.
consistent on tone,
Hmm.
right? So you can train them to be like,
Yes.
okay, this character has this tone. So as you're typing the translation, it could give you suggestions like, oh, maybe do this instead.
Yeah. And that would
Um,
be totally fine. I'm just
yeah.
I'm just jumping to like worst case scenarios because that's what Square Enix has trained me to do over the last few
Oh,
years.
geez, yeah.
I'm sorry. Uh,
No, but I believe in that worst case scenario. If not Square Enix, it would be someone else.
yeah. Maybe
But I just
Konami.
don't think they even have the technology to do that in a
Yeah.
way that is affordable
Yeah.
to be applied on games at that scale, like you were
Exactly.
saying. So
Exactly.
yeah, but I think they, you know what I
But in
think
20 years though, maybe
yeah, I
20 years.
always
Like
always
time.
look at AI in gaming as like sort of like what is it called, VR.
Hmm.
I always feel like it's like VR. It's like, oh, it's gonna be like, it's gonna change everything. It's gonna be, this is the
Could.
future. Everyone's gonna do this. Yeah, no one's playing VR.
Well, I mean,
Well, I'll
it's
say no one,
a
but
lot more people than there used to be. That's for sure. Um,
yeah, definitely not like the future.
yeah,
Though I don't think that's necessarily the case.
it, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
Now I think that just to close this off though, I feel like AI it's a big thing. It's a big deal, and I'm honestly I'm just kind of concerned about the jobs that it could affect. I think that in the short term, at least, it's going to
Hmm.
be a boon to people. There's gonna be a there's gonna be a separating factor. There's gonna be
Hmm.
people who use AI to do their jobs better,
Hmm.
and then there are going to be the people who don't use the AI, and they're going to be outcompeted. If that's the phrase, they're going to be outcompete for the jobs that they're doing.
Hmm.
So that's going to be one of the dividing things. So you obviously want to be on the side of people that are leveraging it, but then in
Hmm.
the long term, it's like, you know, with a profit motive, are people going to continue to have jobs? And that's like, I mean, there are some jobs that will always exist because
Hmm.
I mean, it's way easier to replace a white collar job than it is to replace somebody who like plunges your toilet.
Hmm.
You're always going to need the vocational jobs for sure, but like there's going to be a lot of jobs that disappear and not enough jobs to replace them, I think, at some point. But you know
Hmm.
what? That's not got a whole lot to do with RPGs specifically. That's just doomerism, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Well, doomerism, I have a different concern. Like I've never been too concerned about jobs being displaced. because when you have jobs that are gone, you have jobs that come in, right? Like that, and there's always been like that. And I just don't think that it's gonna suddenly not be that case, right? Like, you used to have phone operators who sit and, do the wire things. Well, that's not a thing anymore. But then we have other jobs that comes in.
Oh man,
Like every technology that has ever been, a thing displaces jobs. You used to have people who light candles in the streets, because that's the only source of light. And then we have light bulbs, and then wouldn't you know it, we have other jobs.
Well, to counterpoint that though, I mean, like there's a 9-year-old video from CGP Grey called "Humans Need Not Apply" that I rewatched it about just like a few days ago for the first time in a long time. I remember seeing it a long time ago, and it was like, oh wow, we're hosed. And now I rewatched it, and I'm thinking, wow, he's mostly right. 10 years later. And the thing is, so the way that he contextualized the machine learning at the time, back, long before it was, what it is today, he was saying, imagine two horses, at the turn of the century, talking about this newfangled thing called the car that's coming around. And this says, I'm kind of worried about being replaced. The other horse turns to him and says, hey, remember how we used to have these really difficult jobs of pulling and doing all these farm chores and things? Now we've got this pretty cushy gig of just moving people around. Sure, this horseless car thing might take off, but then there'll just be better jobs for us horses. Fast forward 100 years, how many horses do you see? So like, it's kind of interesting how we take the approach of thinking like, more technology means better jobs for humans. Like we take that for granted, but like replace the word humans with horses, suddenly it makes less sense. But obviously we live in a human driven world. But I mean, what happens when there's no work left to be done?
Then we get to do other things that create other kind of value.
We'll see.
That's all it is. Like it's just a transfer of value. 20 years ago, you can't, well, maybe 20 years ago, it'd be hard to say like, I am a professional streamer and I make millions. Or even 30 years ago, 40 years ago, oh, I make a living off of YouTube. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, but these things, they come up, but that's a new value that we couldn't conceive 40 years ago. Who knew that I can be an entertainer on a web video platform where I am creating videos that's the value to people who will then give me money to keep making this thing.
Yeah.
You don't know, right?
Well,
so what happens in 40 years?
That you're right. I hope that you're right.
Yeah. You know what I am concerned about?
What's that?
With AI. It's that I'm concerned that AI is going to be like the internet. So I don't, some people might not remember the world pre-internet, but I remember internet was sold to all of us as a thing that's going to help us do work faster, more efficient.
Oh yeah,
right?
The information superhighway.
Easy, make everything easier. Okay, which they're not wrong. They're right. Internet thus absolutely make things easier. I don't have to fill things out on paper. I can have it written out digitally, stored in a cloud, and everything is easier, right? It's fine. Everything is more efficient. But that also means that I have to find other ways to fill up my 8 hours. So it's not so much like I can just relax and just, the way that they've sold it to you is you've got 8 hours. You used to have to do all 8 hours of work. Now you just have to work 4 hours and get the same amount of things done. True. But now I have to do that in 4 hours and then do that same amount of work in the next 4 hours. Otherwise, I get in trouble. Right?
Exactly.
I think AI in the short term is going to do that. All that assistance, all that thing that makes your work easier, more efficient is the same promise. It's eerily identical to the internet promise.
Yeah,
to make everything better.
Yeah, the factory that before automation made 1,000 shoes a day. With when they introduced automation, they could make 500 2,000 shoes in the same amount of time. So what did they do? They made 4,000 shoes in the original amount of time instead.
That's right.
It's not that the savings in time and things were passed on to the workers or the people. It's just nope. We just made more. We just competed harder. We made more value. Great.
Yeah, that people don't get to enjoy. Like
and hired fewer people to do the same work.
Yeah, we're way more productive as a people than ever before, but our earnings does not reflect that, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Right. So
anyway, hey, we should move the subject along a little bit to something.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about other things.
Yeah. Other things. Like we have this discussion topic of things that we should talk about, including our most hang on. Our most anticipated games of 2024. Thank you. I worked really hard on that intro. All right. So I've put together a list of several games that we've been talking about over the course of HitPoint. And Baku has been looking over his list of games that he's also like. It's basically we looked over the same list of stuff we've been talking about. But we've both independently picked out things that we're excited for. I've got my list divided into a few different categories. So starting with like the non-indies, Baku, what's I have mine listed chronologically because that's the order the list was in also. So
okay.
So
how many do you want to do? Like just like 10?
Oh man. Oh gosh.
We should probably set a number somehow, because otherwise this is gonna be a while.
Okay, well let's just start going.
5?
I don't know. We'll just start going. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So my first most anticipated game of 2024 is Yugago Totoku, Yakuza, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, which comes out.
Is that the first one, or is that like the number one most anticipated?
That's just the first one that's coming out.
That's just the first one. Okay, no, agree. That is indeed the first one on my list as well. On the 26th.
So, yep, it's just around the corner. Very excited. Maybe I shouldn't play it right away because I also haven't played the Kiryu's side story game that came out. The Man Who Erased His Name.
I don't know if you need to.
Okay, it might just be useful, but you don't maybe not need it. Well, I guess that would be a good question for me to answer if I do give the game a look at some point.
Well, maybe I can play it and then I can let you know.
Yeah.
Because I've already played all the other games, so I'm kind of caught up. So here's my concern for you, right? Is that if you played a Gaiden, it might not make sense unless you played
Yakuza 0
6,
and through 6,
which you haven't. Yeah. So it may not even make sense. Like you would just be thrown in, or maybe they did a really good job in considering that a lot of people started with 7.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. Yeah, because I already have the game. I can just play it and I can just tell you. I've been told it's a relatively short game. Relatively.
Well, people are saying that Gaiden connects number 6 to number 8. So
right.
So I mean, if I don't have the context of 6, maybe I don't need it.
But that's the thing. They might have done it in a way that has it in mind that a lot of people started with 7.
Yeah, that's the way I would probably do it.
Right. I would have done that too, but who knows, right? So now, or maybe you don't even need it. You can just go straight to 8 and it would be perfectly fine. And it will actually be less confusing. Because more information doesn't mean less confusing. More information sometimes means more confusing.
Yeah.
I'll take a look. But Infinite Wealth, absolutely hands down, one of the most anticipated game 2024, period. Yeah. So my God, okay. I can't wait to go back to that world.
So maybe chronologically, let's keep going like this, and sure. you can tell me your next chronologically placed game.
Granblue Fantasy ReLink.
Yep, that's what I got to.
That absolutely just it's been around. We've been waiting for this for like 7 years.
Holy cow, dude!
It's ridiculous.
I know. I still remember putting out my video in games I'm hyped for in 2018. Not because I was expecting it to come out in 2018, but that's when I started being hyped for it. That has been 6.5 years now, I think, since I did that. So
February 1st for anyone who is keeping count. So January 26th is Infinite Wealth.
Yeah.
Set
your calendar.
1st is ReLink. That's less than a week. You get ReLink.
Yep. Wow. But you have to finish it really quickly because the next one on my list comes out. Go ahead.
I think I know which one you're gonna go. But go ahead.
Persona 3 Reload comes out on February 2nd. So you have 1 day to play Granblue Fantasy ReLink before Atlas releases this juggernaut that I'm very much excited for. It, it's not what I've been dreaming of as the definitive Persona because there's not the female main character. I was almost said femc, but because internally FEMC.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the gal protagonist, unfortunately. So all of that side content isn't going to be available, and also it's probably not going to have the answer included, which is probably for the best. But otherwise, yeah, I'm really excited to see that in action. And and if you want to watch any of the trailers, I have them all loaded up also. So just to make sure. But man,
if you want to watch any of them, we can pull them up. I mean, you already spent all the time to do it.
Well, maybe what I'll do, I'll go ahead and I'll switch to Persona 3 Reload's trailer, and then we can just keep talking about it.
Okay. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, there. So, yeah, Persona 3 Reload, man. This game has been on my wish list for so freaking long. Like just not just like a wish list, like the I want this to happen sort of list. Oh, seeing it in action
Looks
too.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Man, doesn't it though?
No one can pay me enough to play this game again though.
Oh my God. I know. So I might give it a shot and find out if Tartarus is still the absolute chore that it was before. They have to have streamlined it. They cannot have made it the same thing, could they?
Well, someone has told me that it was done to impart the feeling of dread, which is, throughout the entire game is the theme. Dread.
Sure.
Right? Everything is dreadful. And I'm like, well, they did a fantastic job at making me feel the dread.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to pay to feel dread again, even if it's pretty dread.
Mission accomplished. So
I'd say no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you want to talk about the next game that is on your list?
Yeah, so you got like February 2nd. That's February 2nd. Sorry.
Yeah.
February 2nd is P3. So you've got 27 days, which is okay, pretty good. You've got a month because on the 29th is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
What?
Another juggernaut of a game.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? You mean this game that I'm playing the trailer for right now?
The game that you're replaying right now. Oh my God. Oh, the marching. I cannot wait to do the marching.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Another, oh geez. I don't know how I can do this.
I know. It's
just these 4 games would take me a year.
Oh yeah,
to
easily.
Get through.
Why are okay, so here's the thing. If you want if a developer wants to win like a game of the year thing, I think according to MatPat from Game Theory, this is about the time of year you'll want to start them playing it so that they can have time to finish the game by the time the Game Awards happens. And then
is that it?
That is it. That is actually like his theory about how you win Game of the Year. So
is that the reason why they're pushing all these out now? That makes perfect sense now. Oh my God, MatPat, you've done it again.
Yep, that's why they're pushing
the reason why.
all of these out. But
oh jeez.
So So I think those are the ones that we actually have hard dates for so far. But at least as far as these non-indies.
Well, I've got one more, but
Oh.
we don't have a
Oh,
thing
did
on it.
you had another one? Which one was it?
I got one more that's a non-indie that I'm very interested in.
Okay.
So this is February 29th, right?
Yeah.
And then in about 7-8 days or so, you've got another game coming out early March called Unicorn Overlord, which
Unicorn
is
Overlord. What was that again?
Vanillaware. Atlas.
Oh, yeah, the Vanillaware game. Okay,
Yeah. Ooh. That's now obviously it's not like a heavy hitter like a Final Fantasy 7 game or Persona 3. But it's pretty substantial coming from Vanillaware and Atlas. That's certainly not a indies affair, if you will. I think this is a super gorgeous modern take on Ogre Battle.
Yeah. So I've pulled up the trailer for it again because my
Anyone who might not
brain
remember.
has forgotten it. So here's
Well, I pre-ordered the limited edition like day one. It looks gorgeous.
yeah, that is. Oh,
See,
yeah, that's
some
right.
battle. That's some ogre battle action right there.
That's a good pick. Unicorn Overlord. That's right. I'd forgotten about this.
Look at that.
How did I forget about this?
Ooh.
All right, and that was February 7th, or I mean March 7th. Is that right? You said
That's March 8th.
March 8th. Okay.
March 8th. Yes.
Yeah, I remember you said like 7
You
more
have,
days
you have
later.
the list handy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have it open right now. I was because I made my list curated and got rid of everything else.
Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, I'd say as far as like non-indies is concerned, in the first couple of months, like that's what we're looking for. Of course, there are more games that are either later in 2024 that don't have definitive dates, or you know, or just like TBA, but we know it's coming. So
yeah. So I guess I'll go next with the one that I have. We don't have a date for it, but we do have a season listed at least for what you think you know what it is?
no, I'm just laughing the fact
okay.
that it seems like there's a like 2 years ago, like we have a lot of hard dates around even this time because of COVID and whatnot. But now it's like we're back to just having a lot of TBAs. But yeah, but go ahead.
Just gotta consult my crystal ball. So somewhere within the summer of 2024, it looks like we're gonna be getting Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak.
Ooh, summer 2024.
Yeah, that's right.
Make it so.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, so I mean, I'm probably not going to be ready for it whenever that happens, because I still have to finish Cold Steel 4, which we're playing over on Twitch these days, which is so much fun. And then I've got to get through Reverie, Trails into Reverie. That's another one. And then I'll be pretty much ready, but I could also still probably play Nayuta no Kiseki, Boundless Trails, which also is just...
Are you just adding more? Did you just add another game in that's like not even necessary for you to enjoy Daybreak?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I just want you to be aware that you already don't have time, but then you added one more to make your life harder. I respect it. I just want you to be aware that that's what you're doing right to yourself right now.
I know. But man, I'm excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. I meanwhile, I only finished Sky, so we'll see.
Yeah, you've got Crossbell ahead of you, man. You got so much ready.
Boy, I have so many games to play.
So, what do you have next up on your chronological list of non-indies? What do you call non-indies that are not AAAs? Because I was gonna say AAA RPGs, but they're not necessarily. Like Legend of Heroes is not AAA.
I just say they're non-indies.
Yeah, just
like, I don't really have like.
So indie is short for independent. So we'll just call these dependent RPGs.
Corpos, yeah, corpo games.
Sure.
It's what it is though. Like these are all like corporations, you know,
Yeah.
like they're big company, you know, like big
Fair enough.
production.
Hmm.
So yeah, corporate games as opposed to indie games. Um, Obviously, for a non-dated one that has been set that will come out 2024, hands down, Vision Mana. Uh,
Oh yes.
easy pick for me. It's just been a great lifelong fan of Mana, and have suffered the kind of disappointments that we have all been there for. But I feel like you know what, Square Enix, you're winning good graces from me again. Just
Yeah.
just don't mess up.
You know what? The fact that they're doing this kind of makes up for, symbiogenesis, doesn't it?
Yeah, again, Symbiogenesis just feels like such a
Yeah, just a hand wave
know,
away,
yeah, just like yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
We've tried it. It
They're
didn't
checking
work.
off
Let's
items on a list that they were
never
kind
do
of
it again.
obligated to do, but then they went
Yeah.
and did this. So
Mhm.
I kind of can forgive them for, this is good. This makes me happy. So
Square Enix has mastered the arts of pissing you off and then trying to win you back.
yep.
So there it is. Oh boy, yeah, this game easy, the most anticipated game in 2024.
Hmm.
Even above some of these other games that I've been super hyped about that we have talked about. If I have to pick one game that I can just get to play like right now, this easy.
Yep. It's a
Easy
good
pick.
call. Good call. It's a really nicely picked one. I have another that we don't really know when it's going to come out. We just know that it's supposed to come out, and that would be for me, Metaphor, ReFantazio.
Oh yeah. Sometime in 2024. Am I right?
Sometime in 2024. The trailer for this thing was absolutely like just jaw
Yeah,
dropping.
we had to watch it again, remember?
All right, yeah, let's
Was this the trailer when we watched it twice?
I
I don't think it is.
no, maybe this isn't it. Yeah,
no,
there was
I don't think
yeah,
this is it.
that's the wrong trailer. Unless maybe oh wait, this is
Is it?
this is a different one. This is
Yeah, they've had like 3 or 4 trailers.
yeah. Yeah,
The
this-
one that this is the initial like this is the second trailer, I think.
yeah.
The third trailer is the one that I showed you with like actual gameplay and like, you know, action fights and also turn-based. Remember that?
Yeah. But this I don't think I've seen this trailer actually. It's still
No, it's
super
not this
cool.
one.
It's super
This one
cool.
is the older one.
Yeah. I like it a lot though. That's cool.
No, it looks fantastic, regardless of which one you're looking at.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, Metaphor ReFantazio, sometime 2024, man.
Sometime 2020. If they are to be believed.
If they're to be believed, I don't know if I buy it, but I mean that's what they say. So I'll say that I'm excited. This is one that I'm anticipating more information on. If only I'm anticipating maybe a different release date.
Another game that I'm interested in, and you might already have this, is Decapolice that got pushed back from
Oh yeah.
2023 to 2024. So hey, fingers crossed that they get it right.
Yep. I definitely
It looks
did.
really good. Level 5, come back.
I
We
know.
love you.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to come back.
There was some discussion during the last episode of HitPoint about like what do we feel about level 5 at this point, and I feel like I really want them to come back into the swing of things. Decapolice is such a promising looking game. It looks like it could potentially be a spiritual successor to the Dark Clouds and such that I loved. I don't know if there's going to be a weapon upgrade path. That's one of the systems that I always used to really love with my level 5 games. But he's got melee and ranged attacks, so that could very easily be more Dark Cloudish. Plus,
I love how stylish that looks.
oh man,
Great.
doesn't it though?
Yeah.
And it looks like old school anime too, like I don't know, like Lupin a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit of that like kind of era of art style. Man, It's such a
Certainly has some inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
The pop collar certainly helps.
Yeah. Did you notice that I popped my collar for the Yakuza review?
It has gone not unnoticed. It's to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Decapolice though is such a great looking game that I'm definitely looking forward to. So
What else is on your list, sir?
I got 3 more on my list.
Oh, okay.
How about you? For
corporal games?
Yep,
or?
for corpo games.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. What's
yeah.
the next one?
All right, so here I'll start playing this next one here, the trailer for it. Do 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 do. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, here we go.
Wrong game, sir. Wrong
I
game.
know. So here, here's the trailer for the next game that says 2024. I don't know if I believe it because I feel like we are still kind of strapped for information about it, but it's kind of this open world action RPG with art from Akira Toriyama. And I'm pretty excited about this. I don't know who's doing this, but I'm with Toriyama's name attached. You know, it's definitely Corpo.
Yeah. It's Bandai.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, it's Bandai. Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Pretty sure it's Bandai Namco.
Yeah. Oh, I chose the French trailer apparently. Whatever. Dude, does that not
Does anyone speak French in the chat? Tell us what they say.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's all.
I didn't take French, so I have
It's
no
all
idea.
Greek to me. But
It's all Greek. Moon
looks
runes.
cool
So
as
that's
heck,
how you
though.
feel when you see Japanese.
Yep.
Like, no idea.
Oh man, though. Seriously, that's exciting. I love the look of that. Like, it's kind of rough, you know. Kind of. I mean, the textures make it look kind of rough, a little gritty, little. Just
It's the
nutty.
right kind of jank.
It just looks nutty, you know. Like it's got energy. It's got a certain.
It's got
kind of
energy, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy. Well,
Sandland. Sometime
Sometime.
in 2024.
Bamco.
Yeah.
I knew it. If it's Toriyama, you can bet it's going to be Bamco.
Have you got
Another
any
one.
others that you're interested in for this year?
Oh, if it's to be believed, Dragon's Dogma 2 2024, if it's to be believed that they will come out with it.
I didn't write that one down. I didn't
Dragon's
write that one.
Dogma?
Yeah, I didn't set up the trailer for that one, but
That's okay.
it does look.
Yeah.
I mean, have we seen much of it yet, or was it
Dragon's
kind of like a
Dogma?
teaser
No.
trailer?
Kind of a teaser trailer. Yeah,
Yeah.
we haven't really. Well, I think they gave more news recently.
Okay,
But not very substantial still.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I never played the original Dragon's Dogma, so that's one of the reasons that I didn't write it down. But I know that a lot of people are very excited for it.
Oh yeah.
Dragon's Dogma,
Game looks
for anybody
amazing.
who doesn't know, is kind of the Japanese-made Western-style RPG that
They're like, hold my socket. They're
Yeah.
gonna make us a Western style RPG. It's gonna be great. Just
Yeah.
watch, and they did it.
I
They're like, yep.
I played the original on PlayStation 3 when it was on like PlayStation Plus several years ago. I did not get very far in the original because I just didn't know what I was doing.
Oh jeez.
So
That's okay. Do we want to try it again in the second game?
yeah, maybe so. So next game that I had on my list, I don't know if you're interested in this or not. I am officially anticipating Suikoden I and II HD Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunan Unification Wars.
Okay.
I count this as Corpo, even though
Oh, it totally is.
yeah,
It's Konami.
even though it feels like it might be kind of lowish budget.
That it is, but nonetheless, Konami is quite the corpo.
Indeed, indeed. So
In fact, maybe that's the problem, is that they're so corpo.
so as far as like a time, a date, Still Alive did ask us, and I know that yeah, so they asked us via super chat earlier, and we were going to address this at the end of the show, but because it happens to coincide with this selection, they asked if we got any other ideas of when it's supposed to come out. No, they originally had announced it for 2023, but then shortly after Eiyuden Chronicles was 100 Heroes was delayed, so too mysteriously was Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. So it got a release date of 2024, and we'll just have to figure it out as we go. If I was a betting man, I would expect to see an update on the release date to coincide with the release of Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, the way that it originally was kind of aligned with its release before that was delayed. So
this feels so petty.
It kind of does, but also I don't know if it is or if they're just trying to, ride some coattails. I don't think it's necessarily petty, like they're trying to harm. Because honestly, I think if it's between Eiyuden Chronicle and Suikoden, I'm going with Eiyuden. And I feel like a lot of people who are in the know would also feel that way. So it's not really, I don't think, a matter of. I feel like more people will remember the date of Eiyuden Chronicles release than Suikoden 1 and 2. So maybe they're trying to tie them together so that people are like, oh yeah, this
is the game that inspired it.
Yeah.
You can play it.
That's right. Eiyuden Chronicle comes out. That reminds me, there's this other game that also came out on the same day.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's my prediction, is that it's going to be pretty closely tied to that date. So
that's true.
So that's my prediction. What do you think? Otherwise, we haven't really got much info on it, so it's all just hearsay at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We'll see.
Konami being petty? Never, says Ian in chat.
And that's why, because I'm just like, here's the thing, right? Konami, you've already got a reputation for being petty with what you've done with Kojima and all.
Yeah. Once is an accident. Twice is twice is it's a coincidence. 3 times is a pattern. Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know. It's just not a good look for them, honestly.
It does look bad, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's the look, but then there's the result. And if it ends up really selling the game, then whatever, right? It's fine. But boy, it's not a good look, man. Yeah. I don't know. Pros and cons. You want to look at short-term profit, I guess, but I don't think that game is going to win you any new fans, right? Because it's not like it's a new game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So there's that. So I don't know.
So what's your next anticipated game for the year?
I am out for Corpo. So whatever you've got last.
I've got one more Corpo. Let's see, and I'll just pull up the trailer here for us all to enjoy. Nope, that's not gonna work. So never mind. Because for some reason I think that it's age restricted or something to watch.
Why?
To watch Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know why, but yes, the remake of Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door is also slated for some time this year, and it's a remake. But I mean, so is Persona 3. So whatever, bro.
Hey, Super Mario RPG was the remake, and people loved it.
Yeah,
I've seen all the people play it
crazy well. Star Ocean, Second Story, that also did incredibly well. So,
hopefully they're getting the right lesson this time.
Yeah, do it well, and people will love you.
Yeah,
it's exciting to see Nintendo doing more with their RPGs.
Than
did you hear
some other companies?
did you hear This would probably go under the discussions or industry news, but
Mhm.
Nintendo apparently has promised some sort of celebration for the 30th anniversary of Mother 2.
Hmm.
And they said to watch the Hobonichi Twitter account
Mhm.
for more information about it. It's all in Japanese as of right now, so who knows if we'll get anything. So that's probably why you
I'm gonna
didn't.
laugh if they give you more like vinyl records.
I mean, I already got the first one, but I'll take Mother 2 vinyl, sure.
Vinyl records and
I'll,
random pin badges.
I already have a Franklin badge. Don't need another one. Okay, well, I will be very upset and disappointed if that's the case, Mr. Baku.
Don't look at me. I didn't decide for this to happen.
Okay, so that's the last Corpo one that I got. So do you want to kick us off with the indies of 2024 that you're excited for?
Ooh, the indies. Okay, so the problem with indies, okay, is that
there's a million of them.
There's a million of them, and their dates keeps changing.
Yeah.
It's just a lot easier for them to just like change the date. So if it doesn't come out, in time, then they're like, oh yeah, sorry, it's got to be delayed. It's fine. So, what do we have? Definitely, from our friends over at Something Classic. There are two games that are slated for 2024, if it's to be believed. I know Ty is watching right now. Ty, just I'm watching you. We've got My Familiar, which I don't think you've had a chance to play, but it looks beautiful. Stunning art, really unique looking. I've had a chance to play it at MacFest last year, and it looks that one.
Yeah, I had this one ready to throw up here on the screen. Also, I love
just that art.
The presentation
gorgeous.
is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, they had me at the ska punk that they played for the first teaser trailer. That was phenomenal.
You can actually talk to the guy who does the music too. He's in their Something Classic Discord.
Nope. You can't talk to him. He's too incredible.
He's too incredible.
Yep. Like I've heard tale that like just him like acknowledging your presence could cause you to vaporize. So happened to a guy I used to know. I don't remember them anymore because their memories were wiped from existence as well.
Yep.
So just be very careful, be very respectful.
Be very careful. Yeah.
Because I mean he may accidentally melt your face right off. That's all I'm saying.
So there's this game which I get regular updates on their arts. The guy who like does their development like sometime will post like the new stuff that they're working on. So if you guys want to see some new stuff, it's in the Discord, or just go to their Discord and just look at it out right there. Awesome stuff.
Man.
But I did say that there are two games from them.
You did mention that. You did mention that. So what's the?
So there's My Familiar, and then there's also Quartet, which the other game I'm really excited for.
This other one that I had queued up. Okay.
Yeah, this one doesn't have like the same kind of flair from My Familiar.
Well, it's got a different flair. That's for sure.
It's got a different flair. It's the writing is hilarious. From I couldn't put the controller down because like. The way that they tell the story, it's so good to me because the battle and the storytelling is like tied in.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of times when it's like the battle is like trying to tell you the story as it goes, and I feel like
you've had a chance to play Shadows of Adam, right? You've played that?
I have not had a chance. I gave the game away, but I have not had a chance to play it. No.
What well, get yourself a copy. You gave your copy away. Why would anybody do that?
Okay, that copy was given. By the way, our friends over at
Something Classic.
Something Classic. At giving us the game so that we can donate it.
Oh, that's right.
For Relieve. I forgot which one it was, but some kind of relief fund. Oh, Hawaii. It was
That's
for
right.
Hawaii relief. Yeah.
That's
so
right, yes.
I'm not keeping the game. It was for fundraising.
Okay,
And,
I forgive you this time, but you need to make sure you snag a copy because it is really, really fun, and
Yeah.
and I believe that this is a spiritual successor to.
I think they're gonna send me a code like right now. They're gonna watch this. They're gonna be, I can't believe you haven't played our game. Here,
I can't believe you haven't played it.
hurry up and play it.
Hurry
Just
up.
do it
Baku,
now.
What are you doing? Just stop hosting HitPoint with me and just start playing. Okay. All right. So those are
Yeah.
two incredible looking little indie titles that were also on my list. There's another one though that also I would like to bring to the discussion topic for 2024. Here, let me pull up the trailer for it here real quick.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's
where,
a game.
where have I seen this?
This is a game that I just learned about fairly recently from this underground podcast that talks about some RPG news. Yeah, so this one's called Crystal Story, and believe it or not, it actually comes out in just a few days.
5 days.
Yeah,
guys.
5 days.
5
from now.
days.
It comes out on the 12th, kicking us off the new year on the right foot. Or so it would
Where
seem.
have I seen?
I don't know. Seems awfully familiar though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just I can't quite put my finger on it.
So yeah, this is kind of a late entry into the list, but it definitely I think deserved a spot at least. So I'm excited to.
It looks really good. I was like, I think Derek's gonna. I'm gonna add this in right now. He's not gonna regret this.
I mean, you didn't think I was gonna let me play that twice, did you? I had plans. So
you have plans.
Yeah. So yeah, Crystal Story. That looks pretty sick. And and you can look forward to playing it in here in just a little bit. So
yeah,
I'm gonna.
No need to wait for months or TBA. It's in 5 days. You can count it with your hand, one hand.
I need to talk to Bread Frown. Was that right?
I guarantee his real name is Fred Brown.
It's kind of.
I guarantee you
could
his
be.
Real name is
you don't know. Maybe.
It's like, actually, no, my name is Bread and my last name is Frown. So if you can just stop. Geez. Yeah, now that I've angered the developer, I'm not getting that copy. But no matter. The joke was worth it. Anyways, we've got another one that I think it needs no introduction. We just talked about it. Aiden Chronicles. Definitely indie. Definitely much hyped. Just
seriously,
I'm
like this game may be my most
speechless.
anticipated RPG of the year. Like, it's such a.
If Vision of Mana isn't slated to come on 2024, this would have been it for me.
Yeah.
Like most anticipated, hands down.
I mean, definitely punching above its weight class. We'll say that much.
By far. By far.
Man. Look at
I
that.
can't wait for this to be a success and then just be like, hey, Square Enix, have you been watching? Have you noticed?
Right? I know.
Take notice. We want games that are entertaining with heart and not like just amazing graphics. Like just doesn't. It doesn't make up for everything.
I mean, these graphics are kind of amazing, though. I mean, like they're maybe not technically impressive, but they are still gorgeous.
Yeah, correction. It's not that these are not good looking, but it seems like they're just dumping all their like production into just like
hyper realism.
Yeah. We don't necessarily need that. Take that resource, put it elsewhere. Right? Like you have a certain amount of capital to make a thing. We don't need it all to be like photorealistic. Oh my God, amazing looking monsters. Like there are other things
like those are
that
nice.
You can spend more resources on.
Those are certainly nice from time to time, but it's not like, it's clearly not the only thing that matters. So
yeah, it doesn't make the game. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
You can't just ignore all the other things.
what a solid pick. And that is supposed to be coming out on what date? The 26th of this
Aiden?
month. Yeah, isn't it? I think it's coming out.
It's in April.
It's in April. Oh,
This month. I was like, wait, there's no way it's coming out this month. I would have
really?
I would have freaked out. No, it's April 23rd.
oh, thank God. We have a little bit of extra time. Okay. For some reason, I must have written that down next to the wrong game then in my list. Yeah,
And you know what's coming out 2 days after Aiden Chronicles?
Suikoden.
No, not Suikoden. But I wouldn't be surprised. No, this is not part of the list. But the new Saga game is coming out April 25th.
Oh, is that one of your anticipated games?
No,
Yeah, I mean,
I just want to mention it to people.
Okay.
I'm not that stoked about the new Saga game. They haven't proven to me that they know what the Saga formula works.
yeah.
But
It's not on my
maybe it
list
could
either,
be.
but
Yeah.
yeah. There is another game though that I am actually very excited for.
Mhm.
It's from another one of my indie friends from from positive games, positive concept games.
Oh, Shane's Legacy. Look at that.
Yes, Shrine's Legacy, man.
Shrine's Legacy? Shrine's Legacy.
Yeah, Shrine's Legacy. So they have. I made a video talking about one of their demos a while ago now, and it has just had such a glow up, which you can see
Come
here.
down to MacFest. You can play their demo. What are you doing?
I know. I mean, they've
Come visit.
I also have a code for the demo too, but I want to. I kind of want to not spoil myself. I want to just kind of just look from the distance from now and play the thing when it's fully fleshed out. But this is done in the style of like a quintet style, maybe Soul Blazer, a little bit of Terranigma to the mechanics. Just such a a love letter. Oh, you can pet the goat, and that makes me happy, right? And it's co-op, 2-player co-op action RPG, so you can get your mana fix while you're at it. So yeah, that's
the 2D mana fix.
yeah. Yep. And so yeah, if that's the other thing that I'm pretty excited for. Shrine's Legacy. I'm just happy to see that little indie company that I was, or not even a company, well, maybe a company, I don't know, but that little indie developer, like kind of just growing up, and I'm also proud of them.
It's this game, if I remember correctly, this game is made by 2 guys. That's it.
Yeah, it's just
2 guys.
Yeah, exactly.
With a passion
It's a
for the game.
very small team.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're doing
I don't know.
super
I
well.
don't know if you have this next one, but I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Yeah. The one that this one I'm super excited for. Is called Bloomtown.
Oh yeah, I
Different
had that one.
story. Oh, you do have that one.
Of course. Why wouldn't I have that one?
Bloomtown.
I
Looks
know.
amazing.
Yes, it does. I saw it in the list. I'm like, yep, that's definitely one that I am keeping my eye on as well.
This is talking about like a remote town in the 1960s where things are kind of glitching
Yeah.
and you have to like solve the problems.
You didn't think I had this one pulled up.
There were so many of these like games that we've looked at.
I know.
Through all these indies that we pulled up, and some of them really stuck with us. Some of them are like, it's cool, but then I kind of forgot about them. This is definitely one that has stuck around in my mind for a minute. Q2 2024.
Indeed.
Q2.
Indeed.
So maybe in a couple months if they don't delay.
Well, let's hope, because that's exciting. I have one more. I don't know. Do you have any others? Do you know what it might be? Do you have a guess?
Oh, is it the Hermit one?
I had it on my list. Where is that? It's not on my list anymore. Huh.
It is on your list, but I
Yeah.
was just wondering if that's what you wanted to.
That's
go
not the one
over.
I was going to talk about. But
Okay.
okay, here. This is the one though that I am going to talk about.
Oh, of course, of
Of
course.
course.
The Sky of Acadia,
Sky
spiritual.
Oceans Wings for Hire. Sometime
Yeah.
2024. Yeah, the other one that you were talking about, that I can't talk about that yet. You know,
Oh.
that's for another section
That's for
that I
another
have
section
that I have set aside. Yeah. Yep, Sky Oceans coming soon. Says sometime 2024 maybe. So
Sometimes maybe we'll see.
yeah. Yep, it's tough. It's tough to say for sure, but yeah, those are my indies that I expect to see something happen in 2024. Have you got any others on your 2024 list of indies?
Not off the top of my head. Like I said, that there's just been a lot of games that we
I
talked
know,
about.
so many.
So yeah, just because I haven't talked about it doesn't mean like I don't
Oh
necessarily
no,
care about it. I just can't for the life of me remember all these games.
yeah,
But those are some of the ones that are like, top of mind, I guess.
okay.
Yeah.
So then I have something else, a couple items that are on my list of things that I'm anticipating, not in 2024 though.
TBA.
Yeah, or not TBA, but even so. Here's the next one that I actually kind of wanted to talk about.
Mhm. Oh, of course.
Of course,
Of course.
Penny Blood, which
Of course.
is not coming out in 2024. Currently, it has an announced date or time frame of 2025. But this game is an indie that's being developed by the guy behind the oh my gosh, the
Shadow.
Hearts series.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, and Kodelka as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this is a trailer that they put together as part of a Kickstarter campaign
Yeah.
alongside another item that's on my list that also is coming out sometime in 2024. And
We
I'll
should
just
just go through both of them back to back.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But look at that. I mean, so here's the thing. This is probably pre-development. Like this is a hype trailer it's probably going to look something like this, but so much is subject to change that I kind of doubt that any of this is like set in stone. You know, what do you think? Do you concur, or do you think that a lot of this is going to be what we get?
I think
Oh, that's so
no,
cool.
I think they're gonna change a whole bunch of this. I think
Yeah.
so. I think they're gonna change a whole bunch of this.
Yeah, and understandably so. And I think that they're going to do something very similar with this one. Like this is, again, it's a hype trailer that they used to help show the concept of what they're working on.
Yeah.
You know, there's probably a lot of this going to change, but let me just turn this up a little bit.
I love the music.
I know. Me too, man.
It's just these games, the music is never a problem. I seldom
God.
play a JRPG and say, you know what's the worst part of this? The music. Everything is great, but man, that music was just so bad. Like, I mean, I might not love the music, but it's never the worst part of the game for me.
Sure.
They're usually pretty good. If anything, they're usually the best part of the game is, I might not even like the gameplay, but God, I love that soundtrack. I keep listening to it. Chrono Cross.
Fair enough. Oh my gosh. So Armored Fantasia is obviously a spiritual successor to Wild Arms that also is supposed to be coming out sometime in 2025. So yeah, so it doesn't make my list of 2024 RPGs, but did you have any? Did you have any for 2025 before we move on to our TBAs?
2025?
Yeah.
There is one game, although I don't know. I can, I think this game is pretty interesting looking. I don't know what it's going to end up looking like. And if it's really gonna come out in 2025, but it's called How to Cut Beyond the Stars, and you can take a look at it.
Yeah, let's pull it up.
It's right now it's Japanese only. They do have plans to do an international release, but they don't have that up yet. But it is super like fluid looking, and it is a kind of like 80s anime slash not
Kinda
even
almost-
90s anime.
Yeah, almost
like 80s
Decapolice.
anime.
Yeah.
And Ghibli, but also like 80s Ghibli.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just
I can
like,
see
it's
that.
cool, but they do it in a way that's very tasteful, and it's got a modern touch to it that doesn't make it feel like just dated,
Yeah.
right? So I think it's a great mix of the two. Like you've got the style, but then you also have like this more fluid, like modern animation.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to come out in 2025, but we'll see. This is supposed to be, I think, like an exploration, first-person action RPG.
Oh man, this is giving me this reminds me.
You can travel between planets.
Oh man, there was. Oh god, I wish I could pull it up. I don't know the name of it. It's something that we covered a while ago. It was.
They're all things that we covered a while ago.
I know. It's so true. But there was definitely one that was made as like part of a project for like a Sony Expo or something. Like it was some
Sony
indies
Expo.
I thought it was like something that they were doing for like Sony Indies, like a project like that.
Are you talking about the one that's like near Automata, but not? You talking about that one? Stella Blade?
No.
No?
And it's so early development. We just barely talked about it, and we had like a little. It wasn't even like a teaser or anything, but it showed like the world, this little town that they were like developing in it, and it was just this little like
clam.
It was. Ooh, you know what it's called?
If I can, I doubt I can find a trailer.
Yeah, if you can, that would be incredible because it's something that it's
like
with
above
me.
the cloud, and
yeah, I think
it was not Sony. I know what you're talking about. It is. I know the name of the game, but I can't find it right now because I bet you it's in Japanese only. I don't know what the Japanese title is.
Would it be in our Sheets document? Maybe
it would be. Yeah, it would be. You'd have to look for it.
Okay. So here, I pull up the sheet and
it's back in August. It looks like.
Oh, I don't see it in the Google sheet. Oh man.
Found it.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me look this up. I'm excited.
It helps to write these docs.
Okay.
It helps.
Yeah, here. Okay. So again, is it
this one?
I think it is. Here, let me add it to the playlist and we'll watch it real quick because if this is this is it.
This is like super early development.
So early, but I am also so excited. Just by like
looks really good.
I know. Like it's so dumb that I'm excited for this, but just like kind of looking at it makes me happy. Like just the vibes, man.
Yeah. So I think this is like a town that's built on like the cliff, and then you can like climb down to below the clouds and explore and such. I think that's the idea of the game anyway.
Yeah. So yeah. Like I don't know if this game is ever going to come to completion or fruition, if it's going to be released. If it does, who knows if it'll even come out here in the West. It is such a long shot, but man, I want to look up information on this, see if they've got an update, because that'd be cool. But yeah, there's like the little stealth kind of stuff going on.
I bet you that if there were any updates, it'd probably just be in that channel, just be in a different video. Let's take a look. That was 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Let's see. Their latest video is 1 month ago.
Really? it's still.
And I think it is gonna come on English because there's an English version. Oh, look at that.
What?
Getting Derek all excited over this.
Okay.
And then I'll also post the latest update, which is from November of last year.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You're welcome. It helps to read.
Oh my gosh. I love how you were able to pull this out from me being just like, hey, remember that one game? It was a while ago.
Give me some description. Maybe I can pinpoint it.
It was like a town.
There was a town, and I really liked it. Hey.
Oh my gosh. And there it is. Okay.
Yeah, the town did it for me. When you told me it was a town, like, oh yeah, it's a town. Cool. I got you, bro.
See, this is why I love working with you, Baku. This is great. All right. So I guess with that, we can move on to some other TBAs, some games that we're hyped for that we don't have dates for yet.
I've got another one. But this one is like super duper teaser. It's from a developer that I've come to really enjoy. They're called Odin Cat, and this one is called Dream Channel Zero.
All right.
I think they are right now, at least, they're known for making games that will make you burst into tears by the end of it. So yeah. I would expect this to be something along that line.
Oh man,
they are very emotionally charged experiences.
I'm still recovering from oh gosh, what was it? The
fishing one? You played a fishing game?
No, I didn't play a game from these guys. I was just saying, like, as far as games that emotionally damaged me. Yeah. On the subject of emotionally crippling games. Yeah. It was
it Indonesian one?
Yeah.
Do you remember what it's called?
I'm working on it.
I can't remember what it's called, but I know exactly what. Space for the Unbound.
Yes. Space for the Unbound, man. I'm still recovering from that one. I also
finished it, and yeah. For anyone who has never played Space for the Unbound, like, go give it a shot, man. It's
super cheap.
Fantastic game.
Super cheap, high quality gameplay. Like, it's fun. It's not an RPG, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's an
adventure. It's an adventure game, and in a way, you get to learn a lot about like Indonesian stuff.
Yeah,
they'll like tell you about like different foods that they eat and different like way of life back in the 80s.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
If you are into feeling nostalgic for places that you've never been before, A Space for the Unbound can definitely fill you in on that need.
You feel like you've been there, but you've never been.
I know. It's like, oh yeah, the gum wrapper. Wait, what gum wrappers? Why am I nostalgic for this?
No, when they start talking about the what is it called, the soda bottle caps.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, that was a thing. I completely forgot about that, but that was a thing. Even into like the 90s, that was kind of a thing until glass bottle was no longer like that's not as prevalent. And all of a sudden we don't have those bottle caps anymore. But bottle cap collection was totally a thing.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Dang.
So here's
but from these guys, Odin Cat recommend what is it called? Max Monster. Definitely give it a shot. Oh, there's the Hermit.
Yeah, here's the Hermit one that you were talking about before. That I knew it was going to be on this list, but the question is
when.
We don't have a date yet. We don't know. It could be this year, but they haven't announced it. So,
well, if the developer comes by again, maybe they can give us an answer in the comments below. Who knows? I don't know. They commented last time.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what else? While we're on the subject of games, indies that are TBA'd, how about Oddity? Holy cow, man.
Oddity?
Yeah, it used to be the mother for fan project, but they renamed to Oddity.
Is that what they called it?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And we haven't heard anything since they rebranded it. Yep.
Have you looked it up at all?
Yeah. But
Just nothing, huh?
I mean, but it's gone longer stints of quiet than this. So
The reveal trailer is back in 2020. Oh no.
yeah, I know. But I mean, it was. Who knows? Who knows? It looks cool.
It's only been 3 years. I mean, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're working on it.
Yeah. But anyways, Hermit and Pig.
Hey.
We don't know when it's gonna come out though. So
We don't know when it's gonna come out.
oh, that trailer just autoplayed. Here, let's pause that. So yeah, you can look forward to that sometime. So I have 2 more on my list.
You have 2 more
on my list of TBAs. Yeah, we don't know when they're coming out.
Okay.
And I don't know if we even have trailers for them. Let me see if I do.
Tell me more.
Okay, here's one. This one is a bit more corpo. You know, it's not an indie.
Definitely not indie.
Yeah. So this is not very useful. Here, let me skip ahead a little bit. There we go. So yeah, this is Ys, Oath in Filgana.
Memoir, right?
Yep. It's a remaster thing. Yeah, mostly remaster. So
The memoir one.
mm-hmm. So that's exciting.
Fully voiced.
Yeah. So I want to see this. I want to see this come out in the West. That would be wonderful. But we don't know when it's going to come out or if it's going to come out in the West at all. And then I'll skip us ahead to the other one that is
My
also
second favorite Ys game.
Is it really?
Yes, that's my second favorite Ys game. My favorite all time is Ys Origin.
Okay. And so here's the other one that we don't have a date for in the West either. Ys 10 Nordics. I know.
I'm just hoping for Falcom, like 2024 Falcom be one step closer to like international simultaneous releases. Like
please. I know.
Like please work on it, Falcom. Like make it a priority. Like what's wrong with you?
So
it's 2024. How are you still doing this?
I know. It's wild that they're still so guarded about their scripts at this point. I get it, but
they had a bad taste. But then do what the other corporations do. Have your own internal release team. Set up shop in like America and just do what other companies do. Like they all have to start somewhere.
So here's the thing. Somebody said that to me in my chat the other day when I was streaming on Twitch, and I said that is an extremely scary proposition to suggest, because it is a whole new skill set for them. But they can hire people, sure, but those people won't be the established industry leaders that they're going to right now with NISA doing their in-house localizations. Sure, everybody had to start somewhere, but Falcom is still pretty small, and we don't have to go that far back. Well, pretty far back, I suppose, to games like Breath of Fire 2. Breath of Fire 1, for instance, was localized by Squaresoft back in the day, and then that was great. But then they decided Capcom's going to do their own in-house localization, so they did Breath of Fire 2, which just was absolutely such a mess. It fell so flat, for them to do it on their own. And the shame is like these games that Falcom is doing are so dialogue dependent and dialogue heavy that I don't think that they can start with something like that. Like if Falcom wants to do some in-house localizations, they'll want to start with some small, easy softballs, right? They'll want to start with some things like Nayuta maybe would have been a good choice for that sort of thing. But but for like their main flagship series at this point, it's such a crapshoot, because if they fail that, oh,
Yeah.
that will kill whatever, momentum they are building at this point in becoming a mainstream RPG franchise in the United States.
So I definitely can see how it can be scary, because you can look at like the examples from like Square Enix and what they've done sort of back in like the 90s and what have you. But the big difference is this. The big difference is back in the 90s, they were pretty much the frontier of everything.
Yeah.
They don't know what a proper workflow
it's not
or
that
what quality.
Yeah, it's not that Square Enix was so Square did a good job. It was when Capcom did their own that things, went to crap. But
no, I just
get
meant
your
like
meaning.
that time frame. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just meant the time frame. It's like it's scary for many reasons, and chief of which is this is brand new for anybody.
Yeah.
But when there are certain pipeline and knowledge that already like involved that has been established,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of hiring the right people at this point, because it's kind of already known in the industry what needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's not like you need to figure it out as you do it.
That's true. You are no longer landing the plane as you build it, for sure.
That's right. So it's certainly, I certainly get that it's scary. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's very valid that if they're gonna invest into this kind of thing, they need it to stick. But it's just a little less scary than 20, 30 years ago, And it's a capability for a company that needs to be built, right? Like every company has capabilities, any capability, even just developing games, a capability. Like, but you have to start somewhere. So if your end goal is to be able to do these kind of simultaneous releases, either A, you found a really good trusted partner who can do it for you, which I guess they've tried, or you do it in-house. There is literally no other way,
Yeah.
So one or the other, or either that, or I guess the third option is just don't do it. Just don't do simultaneous release. Do this whole thing. Do this little dance of like releasing everything like a year and a half later, that no one wants to see. But maybe it makes sense for them from a business sense. I don't.
For the time being, I don't see many other options. But unless they want to start, but I mean, until they start feeding that development team or localization team of their own with smaller projects that they can risk things on, then I don't know. It's tough. It's a sticky situation.
It sure is. Maybe it's just not a high priority for them. Like they just don't have the resources. They rather spend the resource developing new game, which is valid.
Yeah.
But man, just they're leaving a lot of money on the table.
Yeah.
When you're releasing games simultaneously, the hype level is just not the same. It's like, oh, we finally get our chance to play the game. Oh, yay.
Yeah. There is a lot of truth to that. Did you have any other TBAs that we have not covered so far? Because I am out on my list.
I am out too. There are so many good games.
I know.
But again, I can't remember a lot of these off the top of my head. But those are the ones that really stuck out for me that I'm really, really looking forward to.
Man, I know. It's so good. Well, we have one more section before we start winding down, and that is community news. Baku, did you want to talk about this one?
Oh yeah, I'll have the honor of talking about this one. So, wanted to do a congratulation to our fellow Twitch streamer friend. Oh my god, I misspelled. I'm so glad I am taking this one. Yeah, our streamer friend, Mobile Pokemon 95, who's become the first person to ever beat Kingdom Hearts 3 on critical mode on a dance pad.
On a dance pad?
On a dance pad, which is freaking amazing. I've watched Momo for a while. She's super sweet and she's super talented. Definitely give her a visit. Are you pulling up the video now?
I am. Here, I'll just
I think you should pull up like the Twitter one because that one is shorter. The other one's like,
Oh, I just skipped ahead. So you
Oh,
can
okay.
see the setup here on the upper left where she was literally just standing on a DDR pad
yeah,
and playing against
critical mode.
Yeah, critical mode. That is so wild.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stop the trailer, but that is
So the
so
long
cool.
video would have her walk you through like what she had to do, you know, all the setbacks, you know, all the hard part, how did she cheese them? Like she goes through all the details. So I respect her for just kind of like laying that out there. So for the uninitiated, right, critical mode in Kingdom Hearts means like harder hitting enemies, limited stats, like half the health as you usually play, and just like less frequency for like super flashy, like grand magic moves, right? Taking it all together, it means like even just playing on a regular controller, it's pretty freaking hard. Now do it on dance pad. Just that much harder. So hey, she got covered recently, I think on the Gamer. So
Yeah.
we're just like, oh, that's super cool. So I just had to talk about it. So congratulations again, Momo. You earned it.
Yeah, and we can link to YouTube videos, so we'll be sure to link that in the video description.
Heck yeah.
So that was so cool. So awesome.
Yeah. On a dance pad. Yeah. Nani. That's right, Cyrus. On a dance pad. I do reach that.
All right. So that leaves us with just responding to some super chats as we wind things down and kind of catching back up with everybody. As you might have seen throughout the show, we've been showing these little messages that I added to help remind people throughout the show that we do respond to super chats at the end of the stream, so that people can not throw money at the screen and be confused why we're not reacting at all.
Yes.
So a huge thank you to Still Alive and Tim, who who threw money at us today. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, thank you.
So we got another question here. It says, all right, I got another game I'm curious about. Have you heard anything on a possible Saga Frontier 2 remaster? Feels weird not having that. I haven't heard anything about that.
I haven't heard anything. I think part of the reason is because Saga Frontier 2 didn't sell particularly well. But they have remade games or remastered games that didn't sell particularly well, so that might not be the reason. And the main reason is because the Saga team is working on Saga Emerald, so they don't have the capacity to then do like a remaster. Maybe down the line they will do it. If the demand's high enough, I'm sure they'll do it. But I wouldn't hold my breath because again, I don't think it's sold well enough to convince them to do it. They probably would rather just make a new game.
Yeah. And then we have one more that also came in here. It says, Game Explained put out a video essay recently about how Nintendo is experiencing a golden age currently. Do you guys agree?
Nintendo experiencing a golden age.
Yeah, I would say yes. I mean, in the context of their histories of peaks and valleys, they're definitely experiencing a peak, easily. So Nintendo themselves, like as far as like just overall console popularity, like I said, it has peaks and valleys. They did really, really well up through like the Nintendo 64, where they kind of faltered a bit. The GameCube, they took a weird direction with it, and so as a result of that, I feel like, I mean, Nintendo's first party games have always been top tier. So excluding the Nintendo IPs from the GameCube era that we all know and love, there were relatively few really great third party titles for the system. Relatively. I mean, Skies of Arcadia is great, but it's, that's one compared to like, there's like one really good one for GameCube that there are for like 10, 20 really good PlayStation 2 titles. So so there was that, and then the Wii, it was another golden age for them of a sort. In the fact that it was wildly popular among everybody from small children up to grandmothers. It's just not as popular among the gamers that we are at this point in time. There were some really solid titles for it, for gamers who liked like No More Heroes were really great. The Zeldas, the first party stuff was always really good. And it was also just a shovelware beast. Just so much shovelware on the Wii.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
But then
I remember seeing the discount bin of all the Wii games. I'm like, oh my god,
dude, we will be picking the Wii shovelware out of the shelves of thrift stores for decades to come.
Yes.
So many Just Dances and so many
Barbie games, like 50 Barbie games in one console.
So much garbage on that system.
Sorry, Barbie,
but it was
great for games.
But people were making those shovelware titles because everybody had a Wii. So it was a sign of the times. The Wii U obviously did not did not stick whatsoever. But then now, they're hitting another high. Like, I don't know how many Switches have sold at this point, but I'm under the impression that they are approaching market saturation, and the market is bigger today than it was 20 years ago. So I think it's safe to say that they've sold as many Switches as Wii's, maybe more. But I don't feel the deluge of shovelware for the system. Like, it still feels like there's still some for sure, but it's not the ratio is inverse to what it once was.
Well, I mean, a lot of that shovelware is just digital only.
That's true too.
Take a look at the digital store. I haven't.
That is that's a really good point, actually, because publishing
even less to do that.
Because publishing a cartridge costs more than pressing a disc. And so when you pop into a GameStop, which is, as far as I know, the only place that still sells, maybe Target sells physical games too. Now that Best Buy is no longer holding physical media, right? So
only DVDs, only movies. I thought they still sell games.
Do they? I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't been in a GameStop or a Best Buy for.
I think they're eventually going to phase that out too. But
yeah, probably.
Right now it's just movies. They're no longer holding physical movies.
Okay, so it could be, but you're probably right. But that said, the fact is, like, when you walk into a store that sells games, when you look at the Nintendo Switch section, it is not just a wall of crap like you would see with the Wii. So I think that barrier to entry of actually having to make cartridges and that being more expensive has, in a way, almost kind of Appleified the Switch in a way. I don't know if is that a bridge too far to say that it has kind of made it feel more premium because the cartridge based media is just a more expensive, more walled garden sort of approach here. Like, it keeps the crud from kind of crapping up the place.
I don't think it's because the cartridge is prohibitively expensive. Like, if there were no digital, I think they would have done it. But it's because digital is just that much cheaper.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite. Yeah. So it's not because it's the alternative is too expensive. It's the other alternative is that much cheaper.
It's a mix of both. Both factors have led to the physical games collections just being so solid because it's a great filter. It's a really good filter. And then you only go onto the eShop when, I don't know, when your mom buys you a gift card to the eShop and you're like, well, what else am I going to do?
Yeah. It's like, oh, what can I buy with this on the gift shop? Let's see. On the Wii shop, let's see. Yeah. Switch entering a golden age. I don't know if they're entering a golden age or they have already entered and is exiting the golden age.
So
I think that's what I was thinking about.
So Still Alive's message says that they are experiencing a golden age.
Oh, experiencing. I think they have experienced the golden age. I think that.
You think that if they don't capitalize and Switch ships here soon, that will lose its luster?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
Hmm.
it could only so looking at Nintendo's history, right?
Hmm.
You've got let's go back to the time when they first introduced the Switch.
Yeah.
Okay, when they first introduced the Switch, haters were hating, of course, and they were being ridiculed left and right for the Switch and the buttons and who's gonna want to bring this around and play games at parties, like they're making fun of them, like it's a bunch of millennials and
The
like
funny thing
whatever.
is,
Yeah.
maybe I was in different crowds, but the early marketing that I saw reactions to were people who were like actually really excited and enthusiastic about it.
I
Like
was enthusiastic about it.
and they
Yeah.
like Nintendo did a pretty good job of making the Switch a console for cool people.
Well, you know what they did learn from Wii U is
The,
that when they introduce Switch, they are making sure you understand why they did what they did. Because
yeah,
Wii U was like, what even is this thing? What's a Wii
it's
U?
all
Like, so many questions. Yeah, the
exactly.
Switch is like, watch this like 15-minute video to understand the Switch and all the cool things you can do.
Yeah.
Okay, like before you can even buy this thing. So there's that, right? But the main criticism, at least at the time,
Hmm.
was how it's not as powerful as the PS4 or Xbox One.
Sure.
And to then what the Nintendo has responded with, we're not basically they said we're not
We're not playing that
interested.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not interested in competing in that arena. We want to focus on making a console or a console that's accessible and it's user friendly and can do cool things with these hardware,
Yeah.
right? Which, true to their words, there's nothing that Sony or Xbox can do
Hmm.
even today. Being able to take the console to go play and then dock it and play it on TV
Yeah.
is actually really cool, and I still enjoy that function.
Yeah.
Even like now, like you're talking about Steam Deck is just trying to do this thing that Switch had made popular.
Hmm.
So it is absolutely a great idea. But at some point, the newest games are starting to exclude Switch as a modern console. What
Yes.
are you going to do?
So
Well,
I
you do have to play that game a little bit,
yeah,
right?
you do.
Yeah.
You do. You have to. And I think that right now Nintendo really should be taking a look at what Sony did to help cement its status as a juggernaut in its transition from PlayStation 1 into PlayStation 2
Mhm.
by implementing backwards compatibility,
Oh,
allowing
that would be
players
great.
allowing players to play their last gen games on the current gen system
Mhm.
is what allowed people to buy a PlayStation 2 and immediately have a vast library, and the ability to do things like watch DVDs was huge. It's a huge selling point then. I mean, I'm not saying Nintendo should include a DVD player, but uh, you know, it would be nice if they could also include some other functionality that would be meaningful to people and to also give them backwards compatibility. I think that's a huge part of what they should do with their to help solidify their spot in this ever crowding marketplace where now Nintendo is no longer the only handheld system. The Steam Deck
Mhm.
is currently like poising itself to eat Nintendo's lunch. They saw the success, and
Mhm.
Nintendo has kind of rested on its laurels a bit,
Mhm.
and continue to do its own thing. Meanwhile, the Aya Neo, the Iron Odin, the ROG Ally, basically
Mhm.
handheld PCs are looking like maybe they'll be taking over at this point
Oh, jeez,
be,
yeah.
because they will play Switch games in 1080p, 60 frames per
Oh.
second, uh, whether Nintendo will or won't. So,
Mhm.
so Nintendo has to realize that, if they want to continue to, reap the successes of this, they'll need to find a way to double down on what made them successful and what made other people successful prior. So
Yeah. I mean, there's the legality of things, which is, oh, they're not supposed to do that. And then there's the reality of things, which is, but
they're
they
going
can
to.
do it.
Yes.
And they do it. Now,
You
the
said
only
doo-doo.
thing, the only thing that Nintendo has, it's going for them is, yes, you do have to jump through some hoops and to make it work. And some people are just not very tech savvy, especially if I'm a busy parent and I just want to get
Oh,
my
yeah.
kids some stuff to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going through all that thing. I'm not making it a computer. A handheld computer is powerful and all, but it's expensive. I have to troubleshoot. It's a bunch of things, right? So
Yep.
Nintendo does have some leg up against that solution. So it should be like realistic in understanding what its strength is and really play into it,
Yeah.
right? But that would also require them to update their hardware, which through COVID times when we first heard a lot about Switch 2, it was complicated.
You mean the Super Nintendo Switch, right?
Oh, the Super Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
They're in a delicate time, right? Because COVID, you want to release a new system, you're setting yourself up for failures. International shipping is a mess. You need to ship all these raw material to different places and have this network work for you and build things and then distribute again. It's a nightmare, right? I would know. I worked in import export like through that time and I gave up. I was like, yep, this is not tenable. I can't do this. Right. So I got out of that. Even now, it's not great because I don't know if you know about like the Suez Canal situation right now.
I mean, I remember when it got blocked for a while, but I mean,
by that one ship.
by Bodie McBoatface.
Yeah. Right now, it's
Or are you talking about the pirates that are attacking ships?
Well, pirates / terrorists, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Not getting into things. Just know that ships are being attacked.
Right.
So a lot of companies are being forced to send ships around the like edge of Africa and then up, versus through the Middle East and through the Suez Canal, which drastically increased time of cargoes. Part of the reason why I suspect that I still haven't gotten my physical copy of Chained Echo is because of that. There's a lot of things that are still just stuck on a boat traveling to wherever they need to go to make the final assembly before being sent out to all the people who paid good money for it, right?
Yeah.
But even this is not as crazy as like when COVID hit. COVID was like total lockdown of ports. People couldn't work. Everything is on like a 6 months delay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to, try to release a new console. All the raw material from all over the world, constructed, put together, and then redistributed. Nightmare. But we've moved away from that.
Yep.
Even granted, we do have some issues. It's nothing like that. They're running out of excuses to not, throw that console into the wild.
Yep. And right now the rumor mill is a buzz, but it is, as far as we know, still just rumors, and we'll only tell you the facts when they become a reality. But I'm happy to speculate, and I'm happy to talk about what I think will make them successful. But there's, at the end of the day, a reason that I'm a podcaster and not a CEO.
Didn't the 3DS also have backwards compatibility? It's not like they have never done it before.
No.
They've
they
totally
did.
done it before.
Yep, and so did the Wii. It had backwards compatibility before as well. So it's not unheard of. It's just not been something they've been doing lately. Well, I mean, because there's no disk drive in the Switch. So let's hope that they, will do that again.
Keep the cartridge to Switch 2. What do you think the Switch 2 specs going to be like? If you had to speculate, what do you think?
The Super Nintendo Switch will have...
The Super Nintendo Switch.
Let's say a solid 1080-60 in most titles. Some titles will probably do 4K 30. Is kind of, I'm thinking like HDMI 2.0 spec kind of stuff. Not
2.0, not 2.1,
not 2.0, because 2.1 is when you need like the 4K 60, like the,
that's right,
1440, like higher. So I'm thinking it might do HDR. I think that would
Mhm.
probably be, to be expected at some point. OLED, I think, is going to be a requirement for the system
Mhm.
itself. I'm concerned about the cartridge port because now they've got apparently
Mhm.
uh, SD card adapters for those Nintendo Switch cartridge ports that
Mhm.
allows you to basically throw a ROM onto a micro SD card and put it in
Oh,
a
jeez.
cartridge, a flash cartridge, essentially.
Mhm. It's
So
an R4 all over again.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. So the
Yeah.
thing is, like, if Nintendo's already started production or late development of this system, they probably got to send it back to the drawing board to make sure that they patch whatever vulnerability is being exploited there.
Oh
So,
no.
so that's kind of a pain in the tuchus,
Mhm.
because well, and maybe that's for the best, because imagine Nintendo put out the Super Nintendo Switch and then they release that thing and it's still effective. That would be nuts.
My
So,
headcanon for what happened um to Nintendo Switch,
mhm.
basically the Super Nintendo Switch, if you
Oh,
will.
thank you. Uh-huh.
Yes. This was that they actually were probably ready to release it and announce it, and then just before they did, something happened.
Mhm.
And I think that this has happened at least twice.
I wouldn't
I
be
think they
surprised.
were close to just announcing it. They had everything working, and then boom, something drastic.
One of
The
those
CEO
somethings is
just called it and
mhm.
just like, no, we're not going through with it. Abort mission, and then
Yeah.
just like scrap. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah,
Because at this point the Nintendo Switch has probably gone on 1.5 times its expected lifespan.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So,
think COVID has something to do with it, because
likely,
of all the
likely.
shipping and production issues that they're just setting themselves up for failure if they try to release it during COVID.
But
Um,
you know what I will say though, I don't think that there will be too many more console generations that matter.
but
Um,
yeah.
and what I mean by that
Mhm.
is that at a certain point, like the amount of horsepower you need to create really incredible experiences stops being relevant, you know?
Mhm.
Like you can
Mhm.
know, like at this point, people are not just chasing like the I mean, some people will always chase the best looking graphics, and those people are
Mhm.
probably playing on PC. Let's
Yeah.
let's be real. Um, so as far as like consoles go, at a certain point, it's really just going to be about convenience of play,
Mhm.
being good enough for most things, and at a certain point, like we're hitting 4K 60 HDR gameplay. Like how much further do we really need to go
8K,
before
obviously. Hyper realistic AI bots. Come
I
on, Derek.
you know
What are you talking about?
like we've introduced ray tracing into this whole thing,
Mhm.
which is really cool, but like I feel like the 30 series 40 series cards have pretty much got that nailed down pat. So,
Mhm.
how many more console generations? I'm talking like 10, 15 years from now. Are we going to ever need to upgrade from whatever system comes out 15 years from now? I don't know.
Calling it now that the graphics card, what if Nvidia can have their way, calling it now that they're gonna push games to have like machine learning capabilities, and then they're gonna push their cards to be like the machine learning core.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
it
yeah.
wouldn't even just be graphics; it would be like graphics. I mean, it's just calculations.
Well,
It's all it is. It's just
well,
calculations,
funny.
right?
See,
So
if I think if Nvidia
graph
had
through the
their way,
circle.
they would they would make the 40 or 50 series cards the
Mhm.
last one, um,
Yeah.
or the last one that they actually have to develop,
Mhm.
because then they'll just kind of just increment the number a little bit, give you like 10 more frames per second here. If Nvidia had their way, they would rest on their laurels and just reap the rewards, because they did that. They
I mean,
did
that's the
that.
only reason why I root for Intel and AMD to
Uh-huh.
be a competitor. Like, be
Yeah,
a
to be
viable
competitors, exactly,
competitor.
because
Right.
that's what Intel also did.
Yeah.
is they rested on their laurels for ages.
Mhm. And then AMD's like Ryzen, and they're like,
Exactly. So
I mean,
anyways,
they were still very
Mhm.
dismissive. I don't remember, but when Ryzen first came
Oh,
out,
God.
Intel was so dismissive. They're like, whatever, yeah.
You can
And
just
then the sale starts coming up. They're like
anybody
sweating.
can just glue some cores together.
They were just laughing in their like headquarter board meetings. AMD, yeah, okay, Betty. And then 5 years later, the sales
Imagine being
officially took
Intel.
over.
Imagine being Intel and just kind of allowing, like in your mind, you're allowing AMD to exist so that you don't appear to be a monopoly. And then suddenly your lunch is gone because AMD just ate it for the last several
Ooh.
years.
Oh, geez, yeah. Love to
Okay.
see it though. Love to
Yeah.
see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love that comeuppance. But you know what? I think that as far as super chats go, I think we've covered this one pretty thoroughly.
Very, very thoroughly.
It was a really
Thank
fun
you so
discussion,
much
though.
again.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you all for watching and hanging out with us tonight. It has been a pleasure to stream for you guys all. If you're new here and if you liked what you saw, make sure you get followed on whatever podcasting platform of choice you are enjoying us upon. And we will see you guys next week for real. Yeah,
For
that's
realsies.
exciting.
For realsies
and
next week.
we'll talk about whatever news happens between now and then. So until then, hope you all have a great rest of your week, guys, and we'll see you on the other side. Have a great night.
Good night.